Hey folks, I'm Walter, and I really don't want to belabor this whole Carnival Freedom thing, but I've seen some, vlogs from some YouTube vloggers that I really respect. I've seen some articles out there in the media, and of course some lawyers are jumping on, wondering if Carnival did wrong by the passengers for two reasons. One, they're not getting a refund on their cruise, and two, why didn't they send jets down to get them, okay? So let's start with number two first, because as I've said in the past, you should never expect that they're going to send a ship for you. They're probably going to fly you home from wherever you are, and always make sure you have your passport. But when I went and did the math, the logistics make sense now. So there's about 2,500 passengers on the Carnival Freedom. For 737 jets, it would take 15 jets to get everybody home. If you do 757, it's going to take 11 jets to get everybody home. Now, you can't just pick up your phone and go on Uber and just say, I'm going to order 15 jets. This holds 200 people and fly them all down there, right? This is something that's going to take a coordination. Even charter jet companies aren't going to have 15 jets sitting around. So what you'd probably be looking at, if you're lucky, maybe get 5 jets, and then you're going to have to make multiple round trips to get everybody back to Florida. And how long would that take to coordinate the jets? I mean, if you look back at the NCL escape in Puerto Plata, it was something like 4 days before the first passenger started flying home after the ship ran aground. So that is a massive undertaking, and just to coordinate that many jets to get down the Grand Turk. I mean, this is not Atlanta, this is not Orlando, where you've got jets coming in constantly and returning back to Florida. It would have taken a major operation that probably would have lasted a week or more to get everybody home. So what Carnival did, they have control of their own ships. And of course, there's a lot of inventory in Florida. So they made the rather unique decision to cancel one cruise and send a sister ship down to get the people. Now, that fire on the Carnival Freedom was spectacular, but ultimately it did not affect any operations on the ship, as we have learned. Hotel operations were not affected. So the hotels, the dining, everything about the cabins and all the operations for the passengers were working as expected. And in fact, it looks like the ship itself was not even severely impacted because it was able to sail itself onto Freeport, where it will get repairs. So you've got a floating hotel that's docked in Grand Turk in about as safe and comfortable as a position for those passengers. Which takes me to number two, which is that refund for the cruise. The cruise was essentially over. They were in Grand Turk. They actually got to experience the excursions on Thursday. Then they got bonus days on Friday and Saturday because the Conquest didn't even arrive until 4 p.m. So they got 2 bonus days in Grand Turk. All that was missing from the actual cruise was the sea day, sailing from Grand Turk back to Port Canaveral, which they ultimately got on the Carnival Conquest. So the Conquest picked them up on Saturday, they got a sea day on Sunday, and then they arrived today, which is Monday. So ultimately, Carnival got everybody back to Port Canaveral in just 2 days. And it's about as comfortable of a situation as you could hope for. The passengers were able to stay in their floating hotel on the Carnival Freedom. And when the Conquest showed up, they just transferred over, a very small dock, transferred over to the ship and essentially just got the same cabin. And then Carnival is taking care of any, parking overages in Port Canaveral, and they have offered some money towards, new travel arrangements, because you might have to make some new flights and things like that. But if you really think about it logistically, 11 to 15 jets, how long is that going to take to coordinate to get 11 to 15 jets down to Grand Turk? Then you got to get off the ship, you're going to get on these shuttle buses, you're going to be taken to the airport, you got to get on the plane, then you're flown. That to me is more of a hassle than just relaxing and getting 2 or 3 extra ship days. I mean, we all want to get extra cruise time, right? So from my standpoint, Carnival does not necessarily owe them a refund for that particular cruise. They took care of everybody from the Conquest. They gave them a 100% refund, and they got 100% future cruise credit, 2 cruises for the price of 1. But as far as those on the Carnival Freedom itself, I think they were handled about as well as you could possibly be given the circumstance. As far as we know right now, the fire looked spectacular, but it did not do any significant damage to the ship itself, and it did not impact hotel operation. So if you stand back and look at this from a logical standpoint, getting 11 to 15 major commercial jets down to Grand Turk to get all the passengers versus sending another ship to go get them and just getting them home 2 days later, I think ultimately you have to agree Carnival did the right thing, and it was a truly unique situation. You know, Carnival takes a beating a lot. People like to pick on them. And you know, if you don't like Carnival, don't go cruise them. But in this situation, you've got to give them props because ultimately they got every passenger came home just 2 days late. So those are my thoughts on that. I'm pretty much done talking about Carnival Freedom. I do have a guest who reached out to me who said they'd love to talk about their firsthand experiences. So if we do coordinate, I'll certainly bring that to you. But just think about coordinating 11 to 15 jets to get everybody home. How long would that take versus getting everybody home 2 days later? I'll take the 2 days later. I'll take the extra time in Grand Turk. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe. Hit that little bell icon so you'll be notified when we have new episodes. Have an awesome day.